How young Sheldon secretly explains Sheldon's TBT work problems. Hello everyone, my name is Alana. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like. Up Young Sheldon Season 6 uses Sheldon's interactions with some of his East Texas Tech mentors to covertly explain Sheldon's problems at work on The Big Bang Theory. Sheldon continues his education as a young college sophomore after expediting his high school years. Despite some significant obstacles, he has been doing well for the most part. Sheldon is able to spend time with mentors during his time at East Texas Tech, in addition to making some unexpected pals. Unfortunately, they might be too responsible for Sheldon's professional problems on The Big Bang Theory, rather than providing a perfect example of how to behave appropriately in a professional context. Sheldon is unquestionably worse on TBBT than on young Sheldon, and his early experiences may have contributed to the personality shift. First of all, his hatred of engineers was already made clear in the prequel, which is why he constantly makes fun of Howard. On the other hand, young Sheldon's Season 6 grant database creation procedure may be the cause of his defensive and suspicious demeanor on The Big Bang Theory. Sheldon may have acquired some of his worst tendencies at East Texas Tech, given the way his time there is going. Since he primarily spends his time apart from the Cooper family at East Texas Tech, the show's title character has lost significance in their narrative, as CBS gives each member their due. This has turned into an issue, since it makes Sheldon the worst aspect of young Sheldon. The socially awkward savant spends his time with people like Dr. Linkletter and Dr. Sturgis rather than the clan's problems. Although both act as mentors to George and Mary's son, Sheldon is frequently exposed to their immature and infantile behavior that even occurs in the workplace. Young Sheldon Season 5's absurd rivalry between Darce, Sturgis and Linkletter finest captures this. Despite being a respected scientist, Sheldon felt compelled to act as a referee between his mentors. Sheldon's tendency to act out and be highly competitive throughout his time at Caltech may have been caused by this event. The character's incapacity to act and behave appropriately in a professional situation is something Sheldon may have borrowed from Dr. Sturgis and Dr. Linkletter, and his coworkers must also put up with it in addition to his TBT buddies tolerating him because of his poor social skills. But as The Big Bang Theory progressed, Sheldon improved his ability to deal with problems at work. At first, he opposed working on any form of group effort unless it involved his friends, who he felt he could control. But, as demonstrated in the last seasons of the nerd-focused sitcom, Sheldon grew more receptive to the notion of collaborating with people, demonstrating how much he has matured by unlearning some of the negative behaviors he adopted as a child on young Sheldon. It's interesting to note that he was only able to fulfill his longtime ambition of winning the Nobel Prize in the conclusion of The Big Bang Theory. How young Sheldon secretly explains Sheldon's TBT work problems. If you won't believe Big Bang Theory fan, you've probably found yourself scratching your head a few times when trying to understand Sheldon Cooper's bizarre work-related problems. While Sheldon seems like a genius in the world of theoretical physics, there are moments throughout the show that make you wonder, why does Sheldon struggle so much with basic social interactions, simple professional tasks, and even personal development? Could there be a deeper explanation for these quirks? Well, brace yourself, because we've uncovered something groundbreaking. Young Sheldon might hold the answers to all of Sheldon's work issues in The Big Bang Theory. 1. Sheldon's overwhelming sense of superiority. Is it rooted in his childhood? One of the most defining traits of Sheldon Cooper is his apparent sense of superiority. His incessant need to prove his intellectual dominance over everyone in the room, from coworkers to friends, is a constant source of friction in The Big Bang Theory. But where did this attitude come from? Well, young Sheldon gives us a glimpse into Sheldon's childhood and sheds light on why he behaves the way he does in the workplace. From a young age, Sheldon was raised in a household where his intellectual brilliance was not only acknowledged but almost worshipped. In young Sheldon, we see his mother, Mary, pushing him to excel in every academic subject, while his father, George, fails to understand the complexities of Sheldon's mind. This intense pressure to be the smartest person in the room likely played a crucial role in shaping Sheldon's belief that his intellect should be valued above all else. It's no surprise, then, that this complex dynamic leads Sheldon to behave the way he does in The Big Bang Theory when dealing with colleagues who don't understand his genius. Could his competitive, know-it-all attitude have been a survival mechanism learned during childhood? It sure looks like it. 2. His awkwardness around colleagues. Blame the lack of early socialization. Anyone who has watched The Big Bang Theory knows that Sheldon's complete inability to engage in normal social interactions leads to countless comedic and awkward moments. From his inability to understand sarcasm to his obsession with routine, Sheldon's social awkwardness seems extreme at times. But here's the shocking truth. Young Sheldon reveals that Sheldon's social ineptitude was apparent from an early age. In young Sheldon, we watch as young Sheldon isolates himself from his peers and avoids typical childhood activities, such as making friends or participating in group activities. With a single-minded focus on his academic pursuits, he misses out on the normal socialization experiences that most children go through. This lack of social development, paired with his high intellect, creates the perfect storm for the socially awkward Sheldon we see in The Big Bang Theory. His failure to navigate the workplace or even communicate effectively with his colleagues becomes even more understandable when we recognize that he wasn't given the tools to succeed socially from a young age. 3. His work-life imbalance. Does it stem from childhood trauma? Sheldon's work-life imbalance in The Big Bang Theory is legendary. Whether it's obsessing over his research, taking pride in his accomplishments, or refusing to engage in basic office politics, Sheldon's work comes first, and everything else is secondary. But did you ever wonder why Sheldon can't seem to find balance in his life? Young Sheldon provides some much-needed clarity on this issue. Throughout Sheldon's early years, his mother pushes him to be the best, often prioritizing academic success over all other aspects of life. This work-first mentality was ingrained in him from an incredibly young age. He was expected to perform at an exceptional level in school, while ignoring the more typical social experiences that other children were engaging in. This early conditioning explains why Sheldon struggles with relationships, basic chores, and even the concept of downtime in The Big Bang Theory. With his childhood centered on academic excellence, Sheldon never learned to prioritize personal relationships, hobbies, or relaxation, leading to the rigid work-life imbalance we see in the adult Sheldon. 4. Sheldon's obsession with routines. It's all tied to his childhood need for control. Anyone who's watched The Big Bang Theory knows that Sheldon's obsession with routines is borderline obsessive. From the way he arranges his food to the strict schedule he keeps, Sheldon's need for control over his life is almost comical at times. But what if this behavior has roots in Sheldon's formative years? We see a young Sheldon who thrives on routine and structure. He's uncomfortable with unpredictability and often expresses frustration when things don't go according to plan. This behavior can be traced back to his need for control in an environment that often felt chaotic or difficult to understand. Whether it was the unpredictable behavior of his peers or the emotional volatility of his parents' marriage, young Sheldon sought stability through routine. This childhood need for control directly translates into the adult Sheldon we see in The Big Bang Theory, where he maintains a rigid lifestyle to combat the uncertainty that comes with human interactions and workplace dynamics. 5. The deep-seated fear of failure, a legacy from childhood. Throughout The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon is often shown to be an overachiever who is terrified of failure. This fear isn't just about maintaining his reputation as a genius. It's rooted in deep-seated childhood experiences. In young Sheldon, Sheldon's perfectionist tendencies and fear of failure are clearly on display. He's constantly pushed to excel, and any hint of failure is met with intense distress. This fear of failure likely carried over into his adult life, manifesting in the form of professional struggles. In the world of academia, where reputation and success are everything, Sheldon's early childhood experiences set him up for a lifetime of pressure. He feared disappointing his parents, especially his father, and sought validation through academic success. This drive for perfection created a perfectionist who couldn't bear the thought of making a mistake, especially in a professional setting. This is why Sheldon's work problems in The Big Bang Theory aren't just about being misunderstood by his colleagues. They stem from an ingrained fear of failure that was cemented in his childhood. The surprising link between young Sheldon and TBBT's work problems. So, there you have it. Young Sheldon offers key insights into the childhood experiences that shaped Sheldon Cooper's professional struggles in The Big Bang Theory. From his overbearing need to prove his superiority to his complete social ineptitude, the foundation for Sheldon's quirks and issues is laid out in his younger years. It turns out that Sheldon's work problems aren't just the result of his eccentric personality. They're deeply rooted in the pressure and challenges he faced as a child prodigy trying to navigate an often confusing world. But here's the real kicker. Could this mean that Sheldon's challenges in The Big Bang Theory are actually part of a larger pattern that we've only just begun to understand? You won't believe the other secrets we've uncovered about Sheldon's life, and we're just getting started. This clickbait-style article delves into how young Sheldon adds depth to the understanding of Sheldon Cooper's professional struggles in The Big Bang Theory, offering some fun insights and speculations. What do you think? Would you like me to explore other parts of Sheldon's life too? Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.